This depressing Week 13 Steelers recap loss episode of the Oranges, Orange or Browns podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network, is brought to you by our presenting sponsors, Aligned Health Center and The Place. Aligned Health Center is the first chiropractic biophysics clinic in Northern Ohio, serving patients in the Westlake and Beechwood, Ohio areas. The team at Aligned Health Center helps patients with back pain, neck pain, migraines, ADHD, digestive issues, sleep disturbance, whiplash, scoliosis, and much more. If you have any of those symptoms, reach out to our good friends at Aligned Health Center. Their mission is simple: to help people in the Westlake and Beechwood areas achieve the best possible health and overall wellness. Call Aligned Health Center today at 440-230-6865 or visit their website at alignedhealthcenters.com. Make an appointment. Find out how Aligned Health Center can help you with your ailments. Again, that's 440-230-6865 or visit alignedhealthcenters.com. This episode is also brought to you by The Place. The Place is the place for all of your hot tub, spa, fireplace, and outdoor grill needs. The Place has been in business for 52 years, all family owned and operated. The Place is a full-service fireplace and spa superstore. They have a newly renovated 16,000 square foot showroom with over 40 live burning fireplaces and 40 hot tubs and swim spas on display. You've got to check it out. It's incredible. They've been voted North America's #1 service center by Coast Spas 2 of the last 4 years. Their continued follow-up support and product service sets them apart from their competitors. The Place, and listen, this is important, The Place is not happy and satisfied until you are happy and satisfied. Visit The Place on 2377 Medina Road today. Look for the palm trees to transform your backyard to the backyard of your dreams. When you think of fireplaces, hot tubs, grills, and patios, think The Place. Look, this episode, never fun to record. Jeremy and I recap the Steelers game. We talk about just how they cannot put a full game together. They start out great, they end up losing, and just look like what is going on. Freddie got out-coached. The Browns got outplayed. It's just not a good look. I'm completely down on the Browns the whole rest of the year. Jeremy, he comes around near the end of the episode, which is great to hear, which might lift me up come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whenever. But right now, I am just completely down on the Browns. I don't think we're going to beat the Bengals. I don't think we're going to beat the Cardinals. I don't think we're going to beat the Bengals again. And we're going to get crushed by the Ravens. It doesn't matter who is a quarterback for the opposing team. As long as Freddie Kitchens is on the sideline with the headset, things are not good for the Browns. I'm concerned. I'm worried. Hopefully Jeremy tries to pick me up. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Maybe you can pick me up on Twitter. I don't know. Either way, I don't feel comfortable about this team. We'll see what happens. Jim Donovan, take us away.
45-40. Run, William, run. He's got blockers in front. 5. Touchdown. Joshua Cribbs. Snap back. Ball down. Can't block. They blocked the kick.
This is the Oranges, Orange or Browns podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network. I'm your host, Chase Smith, and with me, as always, fresh off an appearance on the really big show, Browns insider Jeremy Powell. Jeremy, what's up, my man?
Hey, what is going on? Guess what, Chase?
What? There's a lot I could guess.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Oh,
we're on to Cincinnati.
It's so hard to
we're
say.
On to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati.
But
that's the original. Remember that, Chase? Hold on. That's the original Bill Belichick quote.
Yeah.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
We're on to Cincinnati. Because it was Cincinnati as a team. We're on to Cincinnati.
You know, I feel like if we would have recorded this episode on Sunday afternoon, this would have been a much different episode. I'm way more
sure. That's always
than I am now.
Yeah.
Do you think people would like that immediate Sunday afternoon? Like,
sometimes. I mean, we've done it before, right after. It's like kind of raw emotion. It's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It depends on what you like. Like if you like the raw emotion of how it feels right after a game, that's cool. If you want someone to step back and actually analyze what actually happened, look at the stats, look at the numbers, rewatch the game, then you probably would like the day after, recap better. So it just depends on what you're looking for.
Well, I'm still pretty fired up. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Let's get started with 5 hot minutes with Jeremy Powell, presented by our good friends at Online Motor Credit. Jeremy, go.
I'm going to say this week, we've bashed on Freddie a lot, but I think this week is a pure example of us being out-coached and outclassed as an organization, to be honest. The Steelers are just a better coach team and a better organization all around. There's a story, how the Browns came out and they looked really good early. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb running the ball. I think they had 91 yards combined rushing at halftime. There's a story that the Browns were given looks that they hadn't given all year in that first half. and the Steelers hadn't seen him. And Mike Tomlin pulled some people aside and essentially in the dirt changed what they were doing on the fly. And apparently it affected the Browns. He was able to pick up what they were doing and run with it. Now, that's the coaching aspect of it. Now, the organizational aspect of it, the Steelers were able to overcome the distractions of the week and win the game. Because you know why? They're a better organization than us. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying the Browns can't get to a point in the next few years, even with Dorsey and Kitchens, where we maybe catch up or start to catch up with them organizationally. But right now, the Steelers are a superior organization, as much as that pains me to say, and they have superior coaching. Mike Tomlin is just a better coach than Freddie Kitchens. Hey, Chase, do you know how many times the Browns ran the ball in the second half?
6.
You know how many carries Kareem Hunt got?
0. You know how many yards per carry Kareem Hunt averaged in the first half? 7.4.
There you go. Now, why on earth did they not run the ball at all? Yes, I know they got behind 17-10. A touchdown lead on the road in a hostile environment with bad weather, with questionable weather, does not mean you have to go away from the running game. A 7-point lead does not get you out of your comfort zone, out of what you do best. Why not keep running the ball? You did it. You had 91 yards rushing in the first half. 91 yards. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Another thing, Chase, I know I blew up the myth the other week of the bell cow running back being gone because it's back in a big way. The top 3 offenses in the NFL are also the 3 top rushing offenses in the NFL right now? The 49ers, the Ravens, and the Seahawks. 3 teams that play a ton of power running. The 3 leading rushing teams in the league are also the 3 leading offensive teams in the league. Now, I know Freddie, we've talked about this 100 times. Being a run-first team is not in his DNA. And I know everybody says it's a passing league now. Well, those 3 teams are showing you that maybe there's another way to win and another way to play offense. And when the Browns have the two of the top 10 running backs in the league, I don't even think that's a question at this point. They need to run the ball. And to run the ball 6 times in the second half really is a joke in a hostile environment in bad weather on the road in the biggest game of this franchise had in 10 years. And Freddie essentially PPs down his leg in the second half and the Browns lose. It's just, Chase, it's coaching and it's organization. What do you think?
Sunday was a sucky day. Browns lost. I was knocked out of playoffs in 2 of my fantasy football leagues. It was just losses all around. And
I won both my games, by the way.
And I feel like Freddie, he saw Duck Hodges throw it deep a couple times. And he's like, man, we can do that. Here, watch this. And really just kind of got caught up in the moment. I have no idea why he didn't run the ball. I have no idea why we went from dominating the time of possession to it was almost like a complete flip in the second half.
Right. And it wasn't like the game ever got out of hand. It's one thing if you get down 2 scores, right? If you get down 14, 17 points right away, that's one thing. Down 1 score does not mean you stop running the ball. I even heard him say, he wanted to take, even after the interception, the Terrence Mitchell interception, Freddie said, we want to take a shot in the end zone. 3 straight passes. Did a poochscape, right?
Yeah.
No runs. Doesn't make any sense to me, Chase.
I think ultimately this all falls on Freddie. I think our defense also, I saw a lot of Browns Twitter saying, they don't have the will to tackle. They're not playing with heart. The defense, I don't know, but they couldn't tackle. It seemed like every time the Steelers needed 7-8 yards, like I was not confident in a 3rd and 8 defensive stop for the Browns all game. I really wasn't. I wasn't worried so much about Duck Hodges, or whatever his name is, throwing for 20 yards, even though he had a couple long throws. I just felt like they were going to get it. So I know they had injuries. I'm again, never seen Sheldon Richardson bang his head against the heater, and he was out for a couple plays. Chad Thomas just goes down with whatever, like some random back injury. It seemed really
a sack. He had a sack, though. He had a sack.
Yep.
You know what? And the Demarius Randall thing, I've talked about this on Twitter a little bit. Demarius Randall, obviously mad. I mean, the whole thing has to be that he doesn't have a contract. I think what happened was he missed practice on Thanksgiving. I think he took a private jet and flew to see his family on Thanksgiving. He tweeted about it. He tweeted about not having seen his family on Thanksgiving in years. So I think that's probably what happened. That's my guess. Putting himself before the team. And what's funny? If you look at the 2 games we lost, both a second string and third string quarterback, there's 4 plays in these 2 games that you could point to that if he would have been playing in those 2 games, we might have won. And those 4 plays probably cost us our season. In the Denver game, you had the Noah Fant long touchdown where he ran over Whitehead. And, Demarius Randall makes that play. He's a great tackling safety. We've talked about that. You had the long touchdown pass in the corner on Denzel Ward, and then the long passes in that game. And I heard Freddie say, "Oh no, it wasn't him. Those were in the middle of the field." But if you remember in the first Steelers game when he knocked the dude's blood out of the guy's ears, where the guy bled out of his ears on the long play, that was on the sideline, and he came over to make a play on the ball, right? So who knows if he would have been able to make a play on those if he was out there. The point is that once again, organizationally, drama and not having control of our locker room probably cost us a game or could have cost us a game. Am I right about that?
Yeah, and this is a take I read this morning from our friends at 330 to go by Hank. He's on Twitter, Hank at 330 to go. He said we get on Freddie for not being a leader, for not being a coach, for not doing coachy things. But then whenever he does implement discipline for whatever that looks like with Demarius Randall or whatever, we jump on him for saying that we should have played him. Now, we don't know exactly what happened. That's never going to be public, at least anytime soon, unless Randall really goes off the hook and spills all the beans. But if people are saying control your team, put the team before yourself, and then a player does this, I mean, can you blame a coach for having like morals and, hey, this is what we're going to do?
No, I'm not blaming Freddie for that. I'm blaming the fact that there's been so many of these things that the locker room is wild. Yes, Freddie finally decided to take a stand now at a big moment, and I understand that, and I respect the fact that he did that. But the fact that it got to this point in the first place, I mean, just start looking back at the unbelievable stuff that's happened this year. The tweets from the cleats where Whitehead was, threatening to kill people. You've had Antonio Callaway, a guy we thought was going to be a star, cut in the middle of the year. Deval Lawrence cut in the middle of the year. Today, Chris Smith cut. Chris Smith cut today. We've had so much crazy stuff. Rashad Higgins mysteriously not getting the ball, not getting the play. I mean, there has been just drama after drama. And we didn't even talk about Myles Garrett bashing Mason Rudolph in the head with the helmet.
We didn't talk about Jesus Tony. We didn't talk about the 4th and 9 draw.
Bakers. We didn't talk about the fat quarterback.
That's my island first. Everyone's jumping on my island. I called that out before the season started. Thought I was crazy.
And then, the fat quarterback controversy. Like you said, the draw play. It's like that was 10 years ago. The draw play on 4th and 9. I mean, it's just item after item after item after item, and the buck has to stop somewhere, right? Does the buck stop with Freddie, or does the buck stop with John Dorsey, or does it stop with Jimmy Haslam? That's what you need to figure out. And going forward, I tweeted, the most Browns thing ever would be we go out and bury the Bengals and then smash the Cardinals and get back into the playoff picture, and then the Ravens come in and absolutely destroy us and dash our hopes in a few weeks. But I mean, at this point, realistically, 6% chance of making the playoffs. It's not out of the realm possibility because no team has ran away with that second wild card spot, but it looks dim. So here we are again, semi-meaningful football coming up, but it should be very meaningful football. If just a few little things had been done differently by the organization.
We're going to touch on silver linings and pass out some game balls here in a minute. Jeremy, I saw odds today for next Browns head coach. Actually, that's what did Joe Banner say? It's going to be none of them. I think you had also some conversation with Joe Banner on Twitter.
I think that was the next Panthers head coach you saw, because Ron Rivera they fired their head coach today.
Well, let's talk about the Browns. So I tweeted today it's going to be a very Dorsey thing when he doubles down and keeps Kitchens as head coach. Do you think there's a possibility that Kitchens is retained?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that Jimmy Haslam took a lot of heat for not, providing continuity. I have this little theory that maybe Mike McCarthy really was John Dorsey's first choice, but he told him he didn't want to coach. You want to take a year off. And Dorsey said, you know what? We'll give Freddie a year, see how he does. It doesn't work. We slide in the veteran, who they say right now is assembling some guys to be assistants, making calls around the league to gauge interest on that. So maybe could be it. I don't know. But I think there's definitely a chance. I mean, if he wins out, they probably won't fire him. If they finish 9-7 and win their last 4 games, including sweeping the Ravens, it'll probably be tough to get rid of him. I don't see that happening, barring the Ravens sitting Lamar Jackson that game because they've already locked up home field. But outside of that, I don't see any way that you can say that he's fired for sure. Now, if they go 1-3 and they're 7-9, and that's actually a step back from last year with better players, I think there's a real chance Freddie's not back. But to say, is there a way that he'll be back? Yeah, absolutely. There's a path for him to be back.
We lost to a third-string Steelers quarterback with third-string running back and receivers I've never heard of. And we're staring at Andy Dalton, who the Bengals now, they're like, what are they, 3 games back, like lead on the first pick? Like they're going to play to win. They're going to try to punch us in the mouth on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I still think we're going to win that game. Here's why I think we're going to win that game and the Cardinals game. Well, the Cardinals just got absolutely slaughtered by the Rams, who hadn't done anything on offense in 2 months. The Browns are built with enough talent to slay bad defenses. Look what they did to Miami. I think you're going to see similar things happen against the Bengals and against the Cardinals, because that's just the way this team's built. They're superstars, so they have a ton of talent, but their scheme is not perfect. But when you're playing against a bad defense, you can make it look bad like that. Look what happened with Miami. What did Miami do this week? They went out and beat Philadelphia, right? In Philadelphia. So the Browns are good against bad defenses. So I firmly believe that, like I told you before the Miami game, the Browns are going to come in this week and beat up on the Bengals, and then they're going to go out to Arizona and put on a show. And everyone's going to get really excited. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody's healthy, if we go out to Arizona and drop a 45 spot and Jarvis and Odell both have monster games, and we're all like, oh, look at this, we're coming back home 500 versus the Ravens, one of those deals, because that's just the kind of team this is. So I think we're going to beat the Bengals. To make a long story short here, we're going to beat the Bengals Sunday, in my opinion.
No, we'll talk about this on Thursday or Friday. I don't think we're going to win another game. I think we're going to lose to Cincinnati. I think we're going to lose to the Cardinals. How hurt is Baker? We don't know. What's the point of pushing Baker through a hand injury? What's the point in risking injury to any of these other guys when you know we have talent? We see glimpses of a powerhouse every single week, and then it just falls to crap, and it's all on coaching. We're not going to win another game. I don't know why he hasn't fired Freddie Kitchens yet. See, it didn't take me long to get back to my Sunday afternoon attitude. Here we are. We just lost to Doug Hodges. Who cares who starts with the Ravens? Who cares? Literally.
Yeah, true. We might be better off. We might be better off against their starting quarterback, right? The way we play against backups.
I mean, the MVP, sure. That's beaten by 30 points again. What a freaking weird win that was, right?
Yeah.
Like our 2 best wins, the Ravens and the Bills. The Bills could win the AFC East. That's not out of the question.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not remotely out of the question, because all of a sudden the Patriots are in a free fall, right? Offensively, their offense has been horrible for about 5 weeks. Is this finally the time that the age has caught up with Tom Brady? It could be. I mean, look, it was going to happen. He's 43 years old. They don't look crisp. They don't have great skill players on the outside. It is what it is. They've let a lot of guys walk away. I saw Josh Gordon make a couple incredible catches yesterday. Patriots probably could have helped. Probably could be helping the Patriots right now. They're only one now. Like you said, the Bills are only 1 game back of the Patriots in the East. So yeah, the Bills realistically could win that division.
So what happened in Pittsburgh? Once again, Pittsburgh is completely just destroying our team. There is no offensive line for the Browns. Somehow, some way, Duck. I mean, I know we didn't have any pass rush, but he didn't seem pressured. It was not.
And I don't even think he wasn't good. He just had 2 incredible catches by James Washington, right? I mean, and the one Denzel Ward had perfect coverage. He just never made a good play on the ball. It was stride for stride with him, and then the great catch in the end zone. So great plays, 2 big plays essentially, right?
Yeah. I freaking hate the Steelers, and I hate that they ruined a season again.
Me too.
And I can't wait to just – oh, my gosh. Well, this is 5 Hot Minutes with Jeremy Powell, presented by Online Motor Credit. Shouts to Online Motor Credit for sponsoring this segment all season long. They are a family-owned and operated business, the area's first zero-interest in-house financing. They offer zero in-house financing because they understand life happens. Maybe you are traveling to Pittsburgh and you get the brake speed off of you. Well, call our friends at Online Motor Credit. They can help. Providing good cars to good people at great prices is their motto. They provide a full-service garage with certified techs on hand every single day, from brakes, tune-ups, and suspension work to air conditioning service. Online Motor Credit provides good work at great prices. Located in Ravenna, Ohio, this NFL season, make Online Motor Credit your first down stop in car shopping. Visit their website to check their inventory at onlinemotorcars.net. Again, that's onlinemotorcars.net. And if you use promo code ORANGE19 at checkout, you will receive 10% off your brake job on any service work. Also mentioning Orange 19 during the purchase of a new car or a used car receives a free oil change for a year. Thank you, Online Motor Credit. Make sure to check them out, onlinemotorcars.net. Jeremy, some of my least favorite segments of our episodes whenever we lose this bad, and I call it losing it this bad because there's no way in heck we should have lost to the Steelers. Browns silver lining. What positives can we take away from this game in Pittsburgh?
I'll give Kareem Hunt, Kareem Hunt looked good when he got the ball, limited opportunities, had a touchdown, right? Thought Kareem Hunt looked good.
He was untackleable. They couldn't tackle him. Like the route he scored on, Chubb and Hunt were in the backfield. You had Jarvis and I think Hollywood on one side and OBJ wide, or was it Jarvis out wide? Either way, it was like our powerhouse offense. Chubb ran this awesome swing wheel route. Hunt was up to it was an amazing, like, you saw the potential of this team and their offense, and you're just like, why are we doing that every play? And Madden, if defense doesn't stop it, you do it until they can stop it. And I don't think, like, I just sorry, I hijacked your silver linings. Go ahead.
No, you're right. No, that's fine. I mean, I agree. I'm a believer in run a play till they stop it, right? Like you said, keep running those two. I thought he looked great. I'm sure he's probably starting to get a little frustrated with the lack of touches. I mean, all he does is look great when he has the ball. Going away, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to say I don't think there's a whole lot of game balls to give out because I don't think a whole lot of people played well, to be honest with you. But I think Kareem Hunt in limited touches played well.
You know, I think another silver lining, and we've talked about it before, is, man, the Browns have to be the best first drive team or first or second drive team. Like, they get out to incredible starts. It's remarkable, and they look great. They look fresh. They look crisp. They look like they know what they're doing. You know, did Jarvis Landry run a wrong route there at the end of the Steelers game? Like, what happened?
I don't know. That's the talk. I heard a lot of that today. I mean, the pass was way behind him. It looks as if maybe he was supposed to break out and he broke in. That's the only thing I could think of because, I mean, that pass was woefully inaccurate. So either they weren't on the same page, Baker just made an awful pass, or Jarvis ran the wrong route. That's
yes to all the above.
It's one of those three things.
So,
yeah.
You know, I think another silver lining was Baker's arm strength. If anyone questioned his arm strength before this game, those should be put to rest. Dude, that ball that he came down on, was it Hayworth's helmet? Or Dupree's helmet? I don't remember.
I think it was Hayward's helmet.
He threw that ball 75 yards.
Yeah, that was a rocket.
On the TV replay, the OBJ and the Steelers defenders like turned to look for the ball, and they kind of like kicked it into that extra like run gear because they're like, "Oh crap, that ball's still in the air." It was remarkable. And Baker's getting
and then people are getting exactly. I disagree with that. I mean, people that were, but I think most coaches would do the same thing in that situation, right?
Oh, did, yeah.
And I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter and social media about, you know, Freddie stupid. I didn't see that. I disagree on that.
He was trying to score twice there. You missed that, Tony.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with that. I mean, it's football, stuff happens. You just can't blame Freddie for taking a shot there.
No, I can't. But a silver lining, I mean, Baker has arm strength. Still don't really know why, how he's taken this regression. Hopefully we see a third-year jump. Because I think there is a learning curve. I think there is some type of like adjustment phase. I still believe in him. Do you still believe in Baker, Jeremy?
Yeah, I do. I didn't think he played awful, you know, outside of that last pass, and he was banged up. He gutted it out. We'll see what happens tomorrow when they release the injury report, what Baker's status is. I'm assuming he'll be okay. I haven't heard anything. They said x-rays were negative, so I'm assuming he'll be all right to go. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Baker played horrible. I think you said, yeah, he's got good arm strength. I still believe in Baker.
Yeah.
They just got to figure it out.
Game balls, you said you didn't have any to give out. Kareem Hunt limited,
I mean,
maybe like
who do
half a
you?
game ball.
Yeah, I mean, hey, in his opportunities, he played great, right? Am I crazy there? Am
No,
I crazy to
no.
think that he looked good?
Yeah,
But
he
yeah,
looked great.
game ball wise, who do you give a game ball to?
Uh, I don't have anyone, Jeremy.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah,
game balls, there's no real game balls this week, I would
nope.
say.
Ward and Greedy looked silly at times. They're not playing the ball; they're playing the defender, which
Right,
kind
and
of
it's funny because they
drives
just
me
got to get their
crazy
heads around. Like
sometimes.
a
Yeah.
lot of times, if you watch, yeah, it drives everybody crazy, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, obviously. But Ward is like every week he is on guys. You know, what I mean, he's blanketing them. He is
Yeah.
in great position. Just make a play on the ball.
Yeah.
You know,
And
the
this
one
is what
time he
he's
did,
doing.
what
He's
doesn't make
guarding
any
these
sense.
guys, and whenever you play corner and football, they tell you to look at the receiver's eyes, and they'll get bigger when the ball's coming.
Watch for the ball, right?
And
Yeah.
that's when you
Mm-hmm.
swat. And actually, there was a player who did that for the Browns in our game against the Steelers. I forget who it was.
No, it was Denzel Ward. It was Denzel Ward. He knocked it to Morgan Burnett. So he did make a play on that. You're talking about the first Steelers game.
No, in the game on Sunday.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
red
yeah.
wine. I think it was red wine.
It was red wine. I thought you meant, yeah, earlier in the year, if you remember that play, Denzel Ward had great coverage, stuck an arm up, popped the ball up in the air,
but that's
Morgan Burnett intercepted it.
Like the strategy there. I see it work. I see it not work more than I see it work. So I don't know. It's hard to say when we have two great receivers and they have these guys that I've never heard of or castaways making these plays and getting open. And I don't know. I know it's all scheme, and it's just I don't think anyone played well at all. I don't give it to Baker. I don't give it to anyone.
Yeah,
they all suck.
No game balls. I won't go that far, but there's just no game balls this week. We lost. So
you really think
Hodges.
We're going to lose one more game this season, Jeremy? I mean, be honest.
Would
you be surprised if we lost to the Bengals?
This week, yeah. Well, unless Baker's not playing. So depends on the injury report tomorrow. See who's on the injury report. I think if we're relatively healthy, I think that we win. I really do, because like everything I just told you. So I think the Browns will win this week, and I think they'll win in Arizona. I could see them losing the last two and finishing 8-8. Yeah. But I see them. I see them winning these next two, to be honest with you.
You think Freddie is going to wear a shirt that says Paul Brown started it this week?
Oh my goodness, we didn't even touch on that. There's another on our list of weird things.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have a problem with it. He said his daughters wanted him to wear it and he'd do it again, because Freddie's like super, super defiant and never likes to admit he was wrong about anything.
Yeah,
it's kind of a character flaw, it seems. But it's like he knew the minute he took a picture with a fan that something was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't blame the fan. The fan's super excited. They got a picture of Freddie Kitchens. They put it on social media. You think people aren't going to notice the shirt he's wearing? Silly idea to be, taken with a picture of a fan in that shirt at a movie theater on a Friday night.
I don't care. Wear the shirt, Freddie. That's not why we lost the game. We lost the game because you can't coach, not because you can't wear or not wear a shirt.
No, I agree. It's not why it's a bad look, especially when you lose. Now, if he wins, everyone's like, yeah, our coach, he called, he went in there and he did it. When you lose, it's a horrible look. Another thing, I think you can get a lot of people, if you want me to get really anal here, is why the heck is he at a movie theater on a Friday night before the biggest game ever on Sunday?
That's a good point.
I mean,
who's not in a movie theater on Friday night? Bill Belichick.
I'll tell you that. I mean, there's coaches, that's the story about coaches. Most of these coaches during the season, it's 15 hours a day, period. Families don't see them. They know the deal. Yep. They know 6 months out of the year, you're not going to see them. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of, and now I know Freddie has talked about from the beginning, and I never will fault a guy for being a good dad and taking his kids to the movies, and Freddie talked about that a lot, that they encourage their guys to be with their kids. But I mean, that is something that I give him credit for. If it was me, I'd be so stressed out and a ball of stress. There's no way I could go sit in a movie theater, 2 nights before the biggest game of the season, essentially, for the Browns.
I think that's a perfect analogy of Freddie Kitchens. I mean, I don't know. I think that makes perfect sense. Like, I'm not surprised. I didn't know he was at the movies. This is the first time hearing about it. I'm just like, dude.
Because he had taken his daughters to the movies Friday night, and that's where the picture with the fan came.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
All right. Well, shouts to our presenting sponsors, the Alliant Health Center and The Place. The Alliant Health Center is Northern Ohio's first chiropractic biophysics clinic. Their mission is simple: to help people in the West Lake and Beechwood areas achieve the best possible health and overall wellness. Also, shouts to The Place. The Place is a full-service fireplace and spa superstore. The Place has been in business for 52 years, all family-owned and operated, transforming your backyard into the backyard of your dreams. When you think of fireplaces, hot tubs, grills, and patios, think The Place. Make sure to look for the palm trees. Also, shouts to Online Motor Credit for sponsoring our 5 Hot Minutes segment. Jeremy, any final thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I want to say something here, Chase, to you. This episode is going to push us over the 100,000 download mark.
Crazy.
Now, if you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would have said, you're crazy. That's crazy. There's no way 100,000 times people are going to download our podcast. And as we talked about before, people that download our podcast actually listen to it. We have high numbers as far as what percentage of the show people listen to. So I owe you for that. I've talked about it many times.
Oh.
One of my dreams as a kid has always been to be on talk radio. I was kind of talked out of it, saying it wasn't realistic and probably wasn't going to happen. But now, because of the magic of modern technology, we can have a radio show that people listen to without all that much equipment, right?
Yeah.
So
yep.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Chase, for making a kid from the city, just a kid from Akron, dreams come true. Thank you for being a part of that and helping us get this going.
No, of course, man. That really means a lot. Not to get too gushy or anything, but this is a ton of fun. But what means more to me, man, are the texts we have during games or during the week, or like we're able to really go to a game
during the show as we're recording. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the friendship and the fun times we have, man, that means more to me than our 30, 40-minute shows. And that's a ton of fun, man. I love this too. I mean, listen to Marv Albert, watching NBA on NBC. Like I love this as well. You're helping me, man. This couldn't be possible without you. And I think, I don't know. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for those kind words, brother. And here's to 100,000 more.
Yeah, let's go, baby. And hey, I'm going to be right. The Browns are going to win Sunday, but we'll talk about that later this week.
We'll see. All right, let's go, Brownies. Come on, man. Come on, Brownies.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
It's not an illusion. We're talking about the Super Bowl. Anything less is impossible. Brown and orange for the USA.